Hello my lovelies, welcome back to my channel. I am the City Witch and today we're going to be reviewing this absolutely gorgeous new Oracle deck that I got my hands on, and it's called Talisman Oracle. It's published by US Games Systems Inc, so you can purchase it directly from them, but it's also sold on Amazon for about 23 quid I think I got it for, somewhere around there. So pretty affordable, pretty reasonable, and it's a decent sized deck as well. As soon as I opened the packaging, I have to say I was really super impressed with the front cover of the box. I mean, check that out, guys. That is absolutely stunning. And there's a lot to look at as well. There's all these patterns on the box, the way it's been inked and designed with all the colours. Then there's this kind of embossing that sticks out. When you rub your finger over it, you can feel the pattern on the box. Then there's a little bit of gold gilding as well that's kind of between a silver and gold. It's kind of got this matty, dull kind of look to it, but it's really nice. It looks really old and antique-y, which I love. The box is kind of designed to look like a little book, so it could sit on your shelf quite comfortably. And then the side of the box, which I'll show you now, has this beautiful kind of design. So it would look absolutely lovely if you stood it like that on your shelf. The back of the box, Talisman Oracle. It is produced by Nora Paskelva, and I hope I'm saying that name right and I'm not butchering it. I might be, so my apologies. But that is the creator right there, Nora Paskelva. I think that's how you pronounce it. So let's read what it says. Talismans are potent tools that strengthen the power of intention by guiding our thoughts and amplifying our energy. Talisman Oracle can be used in two ways: as an oracle deck with empowering messages, and as a hands-on kit to craft your own talisman for manifesting desired outcomes in your life. You, the reader, are the true magic that makes the Talisman Oracle work. This enchanting set includes 44 black gilded edged cards adorned with magical sigils and sacred geometry, a packet of 44 sheets of vellum tracing paper, and an illustrated 112-page guidebook. So we actually get some extras in this, which is quite wonderful. So let's open it up and have a look, shall we? So it is a magnetic clasp and opens out like a book. And then we continue this beautiful imagery on the inside of the box with, again, another sigil. So the first thing we get is this packet of the tracing paper on the inside. So my friend actually has this Oracle deck, and when we were playing around and tracing the sigils, the sheets are actually quite big, so my recommendation is to actually cut them down and shorten them, because the sigil is only about that big in the guidebook for you to trace, so you don't need to use that entire sheet. So don't waste them is my recommendation, but you can buy tracing paper really easily for a few quid on Amazon if you need more. They come in this beautiful little envelope, which I thought was lovely and a really nice addition to the deck. Let's pop that there. Then we have our guidebook and our cards, which are wrapped. So I am going to have to get a pair of scissors in a minute and open them up. So first of all, let's take a look at the guidebook. So again, we have this beautiful image, and then the pattern on the inside of the box is carried on. Let's have a quick gander. This deck is dedicated to you, the reader. There is no one like you. You are the most important part of this deck, and you are the true magic that makes it work. Be the one to direct your destiny. Oh, that's lovely. Let's see what else we've got. So there's some acknowledgements, and then in the contents it says introduction, how to use this deck, charging your talisman cards, the threefold law. Okay, so there's a little bit of wicker going on in here. Sigils and sacred geometry, visualizations and meditations, affirmations, talisman cards and religion, toxic positivity versus genuine positivity, using the cards with tarot readings, spreads the cards about the creator, symbols and astrological symbols. Wow, so you get actually quite a lot in this, guys. So let's take a little look. So how to use your deck, charging your talisman cards. So let's see what she says about threefold law, because I'm quite interested to see what she says. And it looks like it's quite short, which is nice. As you become more confident and comfortable using the cards, remember the threefold law. Whatever energy you put out into the world, positive or negative, it will return 3 times. This principle could simply be seen as choosing to be kind to yourself, to all of nature's creatures, and to the universe. For every 1 step that you take in the pursuit of higher knowledge, take 3 steps in the perfection of your own character. Rudolf Steiner. Okay, so if you are not Wiccan, the threefold law does not apply to you at all. I want to make that clear, guys. This creator is clearly Wiccan, which is fine. But if you are a witch or not even a magical practitioner, you do not need to worry about the threefold law at all. It only applies to those who are Wiccan, who practice Wicca within the umbrella of witchcraft. I do like that there is some extra information about geometry and visualizations and meditations. So there's a lot you can do with this deck. It's very versatile. There's some information on affirmations, talisman cards, and religion. Toxic positivity versus genuine positivity. That's going to be interesting. Let's see what she says about that. Sometimes people try to force positivity in order to manifest abundance, but it's not that easy. Forced positivity can be incredibly toxic and harmful. The very power of a positive mindset is embedded in the process of self-evaluation, growth, and shadow work. Knowing yourself, shedding fears and old crippling beliefs, and establishing new boundaries is not always a pleasant process, but is one that builds our internal compass. Genuine positivity is rooted in self-trust, knowing your authentic self, and developing self-worth. Toxic positivity, on the other hand, is about avoidance and bulldozing negative emotions. It's crucial to be mindful of the difference. That's a really good description of the two, and I really like that, and I like that she's included it as well. So with the spreads, we get our typical 3-card spread, and then we get a unique spread to this deck called the Talisman spread. And it looks like that utilizes 7 cards. Okay, so there is some stuff about the cards. So I'm going to kind of slip past that because I don't want to, show you the cards until we look at the cards themselves. Let's see where that bit at the end of the book is. Okay, so the bit about the creator. Okay, and here's the symbols that it said that it provides us. So we have some symbols that you can use to create your own, and then all the astrological symbols as well. And it looks like with that, we have the elements, the sun signs, and then of course the planets. And then over here, we have some common symbols that are used in sigil creation. And some of them look like they're alchemical as well, which is interesting. Yeah, so quite a nice guidebook in my opinion. So let's pop that to one side, and I'm just going to grab a pair of scissors and open this up. So I'll be right back, guys. Okay, we are back, and now I've took off the cellophane wrap, we can have a good look at these cards. So first impressions is really positive. I mean, check out that pattern, guys. That is definitely a wow factor of these cards. And I looked at that and straight away went, H.R. Geiger. That just looks like a H.R. Geiger pattern or design. It definitely makes me think Aliens, the movie, and absolutely I get that vibe of H.P. Lovecraft in there as well. It's gothy, it's dark, it's interesting, and as a plus, you have no idea which way around the card's going to be, which is something I love about my decks. And then the other thing is, check this out, guys. Look at that beautiful black edging. That just continues with the dark theme of this deck. Absolutely beautiful. So let's check the card stock quality. Wow, that's pretty good, I have to say. I like that it's got a little bit of flexibility in there, but it's still got this nice quality feel to it. Beautiful. Yeah, definitely a really nice vibe to this deck. The cardstock, like I said, is quite, it bounces back. I can flick it really easily. I feel like I'll be able to shuffle this really easily as well without any problems. When you first get this deck though, guys, I mean, I've kind of done that to shake it up a little bit, but the gilding did mean that they stuck together just a tiny bit. So when you're separating your cards, just be a little bit careful. The deck sits beautifully in my hands and feels like it's average tarot size. So it's not too big. So a lot of Oracle decks these days are getting really, really big and really difficult to shuffle as a result. So I do like that this is more easy to shuffle in your hands and something you can easily handle without any issue. So let's go ahead and check out the cards. So your first card is Balanced Emotions. And we've got a jellyfish on there. That is lovely. So there is the talisman image. Now, I believe in the guidebook, when we look at it, you get this full image, but then that, the little sigil that is used, they give it you slightly bigger in the guidebook, so you can just work with the sigil instead of the whole card, if that's what you want to do. Lovely. There's also a second one down there, so it could be that one. So we'll have to have a look. So our next one is Banish a Curse. Wow, that's interesting, isn't it? So you can use this deck if you are magical, you know, if you're into witchcraft. I like that there's snakes on there as well for that kind of transformative energy, and there's these beautiful daggers. So there is our sigil. Blessed Day. That's nice with the suns. Lovely. And again, I think our sigil is, let's see if I can spot it. I think it's that there. Cast away negativity. And again, we've gone with snakes and daggers. So there is our sigil for the talisman. Change. Oh, that's nice. We have a chameleon, because obviously chameleons change colour and blend with their backgrounds. That's a nice imagery. And there is our sigil for the talisman. Concealment. Ooh, and we have a mask. We also have a skull there. So there is our sigil, kind of hidden at the top. I don't know if you guys can see that. That's lovely. Confidence. So this is the front of our box. And there is our sigil. Courage. And we have a lion, traditional, for the symbol of courage. And our sigil is at the top there. Creativity. Oh, the spider for weaving webs. That's a lovely, lovely choice. And the sigil is on it, the bum. Cut ties. Nice. So this would be really good for cutting and clearing or cord cutting rituals. Lovely. And our sigil is kind of blended onto the hilt of the dagger. Defense. And we've got a scorpion. And there is our sigil. I like that card. Destiny. Ooh, this is interesting because it's kind of like armor but with a cage and a key. So it's kind of got a lot going on there. So entrapment, being caged, or, you know, blocked, tied down, captive. And then you've got the key to freedom, but then you've also got the armor, which is defensive, protection. So there's a lot going on there. And then our sigil is right there along the arm of the armor. Divine guidance. Oh, we've got a little frog. Oh, and we've got a dragonfly as well. Interesting combo. I'm assuming that that is our sigil. However, it could be that there. Oh no, there it is. So you have to really look for these. So there it is. It's on the bum of the frog. Elixir of life. That's interesting. And there is our sigil. Again, these sigils are bigger in the guidebook, which I'll show you in a minute, guys. So don't worry and think that you can't see them. Equilibrium. And there is our sigil. Interesting how the symbology was shells for that. Eternal charisma. And there is our sigil at the top. There's a butterfly on there. Financial security. Ooh, nice. And there is our sigil. Finding love. Aww. Got some beautiful seahorses on there. And our sigil is quite big, so that one is obvious and easy to see. Good fortune. And it looks like we have a moth. And our sigil is right there. Good luck. Oh, we've got a ladybird. That's cute. There is our sigil. Grounding. And we've got an anchor. That's a nice image. There is our sigil. Growth of energy. There is our sigil, and we've got some eggs on there. It's a nice symbol, isn't it? Kind of like that fertile symbol, waiting for the eggs to hatch. So next we have happiness. And I think our sigil is this here, but I'm not 100% sure with this card. So I'll have to look that up. So we've got some suns, and it looks like we have a sunflower in the middle. Healing energy. Oh, looks like we have the Tree of Life or the Axis Mundi. And there is our sigil at the top. That's a beautiful image. I really like that one. I get a very calming vibe from that card. Intuition. And there is our sigil. And we have a beetle. Kind of looks like a scarab beetle, or maybe a dung beetle, I'm not sure, but I'm sure it'll tell us in the guidebook. Karmic justice. Ooh, we have another type of beetle creature on there with very large pincers. What's the sigil on there though? Is it that, or is it that? I'm not sure. I think it's that there, guys, but we'll check that out in the guidebook. Then we have knowledge, and we have a beautiful book image for this card. And then there is our sigil. Leadership, and we have a tiger. So our sigil is right here, and then again repeated over here next to its paws. Learn the truth, and we have an owl. Owls are considered to be quite wise. And then I think our sigil is the large one here. That's nice. I like that card. In fact, I like all the cards. There's not a single one I've hated. Let go. And we have a crab, which is the symbol for Cancer, the star sign, and also is considered to be a healer. And then there is our sigil. Luna. Oh, power of the moon. Beautiful. So I think that is our sigil right there. Lovely. Magical power, and we have a dragonfly, and I think that is our sigil right there. Mindfulness, and it looks like we have a grasshopper, I think, and then there is our sigil. Let me know what you think of these cards, guys, because I do really like them. They're definitely very different. Next we have navigation. We have a spined fish. And I think our sigil is that one there. Overcome fear, and we have a candle to light the way. That's a beautiful image. I love how antique and Victorian it is. And then our sigil is right there. Passion. Wow, that's nice. I love that it included the heart symbol, because obviously we refer to these as being a heart. And then there is our sigil. Next we have protection. And then there is our sigil at the bottom. So our next card is Rebirth. And there is our sigil at the top. I really like the use of the skull on this one. That's quite lovely. And I like that they've added a moth on there as well. It's not quite a death moth, I don't think, because they usually have almost a pattern of a skull on them. This is just a general moth, I think, but that is quite lovely. Next card we have is Resilience, and this one is a fox. And there is our sigil hidden there. Safe travel. That's quite nice, isn't it? I like that we've got this image of the waves as well, because obviously traveling by sea is quite dangerous. So that's quite nice that they included that, like it's turbulent waters. And you can see there is safety in the background with those little mountains. And then our sigil is right there. Success. Oh, that's quite pretty. I really like the star energy there. And I like that we've had this seed that started to sprout into something. So it kind of represents that hope, that new beginning, the planting the seeds. So it's kind of like the aces in the tarot, that kind of energy, you know, the start of something. Very nice. And there is our sigil. Oh, this one's beautiful. Look at that, guys. So we have union, and for this card, we have two beautiful rhinos. We have a black and a white rhino. I really like how they're opposites, and we've got this yin-yang image. So it kind of represents that light and dark, male, female, you know, good and bad, you know, negative and positive. We've got kind of like that polarity of balance. That's really, really nice. And there is our sigil in the middle of the two rhinos. This is quite a good choice. So we have willpower, and they've chosen kind of like this bull image. Now the sigil is right there on its head, but for me this kind of screams that bullheadedness, stubbornness, you know, kind of like you've got more strength than you know what to do with. You need to really think before you move. Yeah, definitely a really interesting card. And then our very last card, we have this octopus image on it, and it's wisdom. And I think that this is our sigil here, but it could actually be that on there. I'm not sure, so I'll have to look that up. But that's beautiful as well. So that is all of the cards in the deck. I have to say, I really like this deck. It's quite lovely. There's not a single thing that I hated about it. I will say that some of the choices of animals on the cards is a little bit interesting. Some of them, I wouldn't have quite chosen them for the matching of the meaning of the card. You know, like for example, a tiger for leadership. That's quite interesting. And I'm not sure that that's correct, or you know what I would say for that. You know, the last card was wisdom, but you could have easily gone with the owl for wisdom as well. So I'm wondering if she will be explaining in the guidebook why she chose some of the animals for these cards. Let's go ahead and have a little look. So the first card here, balanced emotions. So you get the image of the card and then you get the sigil a little bit bigger. So this is to help you use the tracing paper that's provided to trace that sigil or copy it, or you can screenshot it on your phone and you can add this into your spell work. So with these sigils, you can obviously draw them and burn them into your spell work. You could rub the ash into candles. You could carve them into the candle. You could put them underneath the candle. You can add them into lockets, pouches and jar workings. You could draw them on the side of jars. Sharpies are really good for that, or you can use nail varnish. You could include these on, you know, mirrors using lipstick or a sticky note if you wanted. You could carve them into bath bombs and have them dissolve into your water. You know, there's a lot you can do with sigils, guys, and it's really just about thinking outside the box when you're using them and how you want to apply them to your magic. But definitely really interesting. So let's see if she talks about the animal. So on this card, obviously, we have jellyfish. So jellyfish are graceful creatures that trust the ocean currents to take them to their destination. Take a moment to evaluate the way you spend your energy. Sometimes we cannot see the grand picture and get caught up in the moment. If we are unable to see the lesson a situation is teaching us, we can get entangled in our emotions and the need for control. That's interesting. And actually, creatures like the jellyfish and the octopus and squid, because they don't have bone structure, symbology wise, they're considered to be spineless. So it can represent cowardice as well. But that's interesting. So we get information about the animal, a little bit of a description of why obviously the animal's been chosen, and then we get the talisman power, and it looks like you get a little bit of an affirmation. So with this first card, Balance Emotions, we get, I am gentle with my feelings. So the talisman power of this card, it says, use this card when you need a step back to rebalance your position. Keep your talisman close when you are around triggers that activate you more than usual, whether that's a person, a place, or a memory. Envision the jellyfish's peaceful flow and existence every time you find yourself circling back to the negative feelings. Be mindful not to suppress this energy because it could erupt. Instead, try to observe patiently and find your balance. That's lovely. So for every single card, you will get the same thing. So you'll get the image of the card, you'll get the sigil, you'll get some information about the animal and, you know, the meaning of the card, then the talisman power and that little affirmation that you can use. And then say if you want to make your own, they provide some symbols that you can work with at the back of the book. So there's a lot of information in this book, guys. I have to say 10 out of 10. I think this deck is absolutely fantastic, really interesting. There's not a single thing I hated about it. Like I said, some of the animals I think for me are a little bit of an interesting choice. I'm not saying they're wrong. I would have to read through the guidebook fully to understand why those symbols have been chosen. However, as much as I'm looking at them, the animals, I don't hate the animals. I just think I would have gone with a slightly different animal, or like I said, with the owl, to me, the owl's a wisdom, so I would have chosen that for the wisdom card. But different cultures have different meanings when it comes to their animals, their symbology. So I'm sure I'm going to learn a lot from this deck. So what do you guys think of it? Let me know in the comments, and if this is a deck that you will purchase. You can buy this on Amazon. Like I said, I think I paid about £23 for it. I think it's a really nice deck. There's a lot of extras involved, so you get a lot of information in the guidebook, plus these beautiful tracing paper sheets that you can use. And then the box itself is also a stunning addition to your collection, and will keep your cards nice and safe, which is the main thing. So that concludes this review. So 10 out of 10 from me, fantastic deck, absolutely love it, think it's beautiful. If you think the same and you enjoyed the video, please go ahead and give me a thumbs up, click the bell, and YouTube will tell you when my next video comes out. If you'd like to offer like, love and support to this channel, you can do that through my Amazon wishlist or my PayPal link. If you would like to book me for any of my magical services or for a reading with this deck or any of the other decks that I have reviewed, you can contact me via Facebook, Instagram, X, which obviously used to be Twitter, and via email, and all the links are provided, guys. Thank you so much for your support and watching till the very end. I do appreciate it, and I will see you next time. Blessed be.